Good morning. Over the road versus local. It's today's topic. All right, we're going to talk about it because the last live I was talking about um, people. It was something that I was talking about, and somebody came on. Well, somebody made a comment about they only been driving 4 months and they make 1,800 a week, right? Because I think I was saying I was comparing people coming on into trucking, dressing the way they dress in the truck stops. You know, they basically could have went and did work at Walmart, came from Burger King. It was something like that I was talking about. I can't remember verbatim, but it was somewhere in that area. And somebody made a comment that they've been driving 4 months, touch freight, and they make 1,800 a week. So they gave me the idea to talk about what OTR, which is, for those who don't know, stands for over the road versus local. So I'm going to just touch on exactly solo. I'm glad you said that because that's what I'm finna get into. So this person, I hope they on my live because again, I'm really, when I do my lives, I want to stick to the topic. I really don't want to get diverted to or railroaded off of the topic at hand. So if I see something in the comment, I might not address it then. I'll probably create a live and talk about it another time. But if you working local and you bringing home 1,800 a week, right? You touching freight. You out there basically, and again, you getting on social media saying you bring home 1,800 a week, and you're local. Let's talk about what's realistic and what that entails. Because for some reason, I've never been local. I've always been OTR. I've been driving for 4 years. And it's always been a division between local and over-the-road drivers. Local drivers seem to think that they are, in my opinion, maybe I'm biased, but they seem to think that they are better. And they seem to think that they're better because they are home in their beds every night. But they seem to miss and skip out on a lot of details. They paint this pretty picture. I'm home in my bed every night. I'm making $1,800 a week. Right? So, yeah. But y'all missing, y'all failing to tell people that y'all got to pretty much work overtime. You got to work overtime to even get them 1,800. Basically, you on a 14-hour clock. So I'm in my bed right now. This is what y'all do. This is what y'all local drivers do. This is what I see y'all doing. This is my bedroom, y'all. I see y'all do this. I gotta get up again. That's what y'all do. Okay? It ain't no full. By the time y'all get to the crib, eat, shower, and sleep, it's time for y'all to get y'all ass back up again. Okay? So stop playing with us OTR drivers. Stop it. Stop it. Just because you slept 5 minutes in your bed, you sleep 5 minutes in your bed every night, don't make you better than OTR. Because the overtime y'all got to put in just to get $1,800 a week. Let's talk about that. And we're going to get into the fact that y'all be having 25 stops, touch freight a day. Oh, and the manager or the fleet manager that may be younger than you telling you what to do. Ain't never drove a truck telling you what to do. That you better be on time. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Since y'all local drivers seem to think y'all better than OTR and love to brag about how much money y'all make. Let's talk about it. If you live in Miami is one of those cities where everything is tight. The local traffic is hell because we don't have a lot of highways like maybe like Texas. We just don't have that. We have 75, 95. If you want to go in and out in a turnpike that's running Central Florida, okay? We ain't got a whole bunch of highways like that. So if you local, you predominantly running them city lights. Stop and go, dealing with pedestrians and all that shit. And don't let it be that you dropping a load on South Beach. And you talking about touching freight, because more than likely you in the food industry. Okay, and we have a lot of hotels, tourist places, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Grocery stores or whatever the case may be. You touching freight. So you not only got to do what your fleet manager said, but when you get to them deliveries, you got to do what them people tell you to do. Where to drop the load, how to unload it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay. Am I right? Let y'all drop down in the comments. Am I right or am I wrong? Y'all working a whole 14-hour clock. Churn don't even know who you is. Daddy? Who? Mama? Don't even know who you is, because when you come in, they sleep. They sleep. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The touch freight, the work, the heavy. Listen, taking stuff from the streets. Y'all painting this pretty picture. A lot of these places don't even have like no serious load docks. You got to park that truck on the street. Get your little dolly. Take it from the truck. You got to be watching for cars. Make sure that nobody don't hit you. Going into the they back room may be way at the back of the building, and then you got to come back, get their stuff, take it, and you got 25 of them per day. And are y'all getting to tell people that you work 7 days a week to get them 1,800, 7 to 6 days a week to get that 1,800 with overtime? Are you telling people that? So y'all stop coming in my comments talking about, oh, I'm local and I make $1,800 a week. And is that gross or net? Stop coming on my live. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to chew you up if you come on my live with the cap. This is a no cap zone on my page. No cap zone. If I see it, I'm going to call it out. And I'm going to embarrass you. Yes, fight. Yes, thank you. I'm going to embarrass you. Stop doing that. Stop getting on social media, making it seem like y'all making mega bucks, and ain't telling the people what it is you got to do, being pimped out to get it. Stop making yourself seem like y'all better than OTR, and it's better to be local. When, like I said, y'all get home, you too tired to eat, you too tired to fuck, you too tired to give your wife head, because you done took all this crap. And let's talk about the co-workers that y'all got to be worried about when y'all in the yard. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. How the ass kissers. The ass kissers that y'all got to work with in the yard. That you got to be careful of what you do and say around your co-workers. Because they trying to get a better shift or whatever it is that y'all got to bid for, and all this foolishness that y'all got to go through when y'all working local. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm finna read y'all comments, because y'all gonna stop coming. Stop coming on my lives with the foolishness. What company is paying like that? Cisco, you about to work, bro. Exactly. Exactly. And please don't come on my live dropping how much y'all make. I don't care about that. I don't talk about money over here like that. I really don't care what other people make. I really don't. Let's see. Price of gas is not fair. I don't care about them, but I did make good money local when I was with Food Lion. What's good money? You say you made good money when you was with Food Lion. What's good money? No cap here, baby. On call and more. Yep, be on call, Sean. Tell it. Be on call, speaking the facts. I know I am. They gonna stop coming talking about they better than OTR. All this money that they claim they be making. They ain't telling nobody that they working overtime. They burning their 14-hour clock. They ain't telling nobody that. And by the time you get to the crib, like I said, you only got enough time to eat, take a shower, take a shit, or whatever it is. You see your bed for 5-10 minutes. You back at it again. You ain't telling nobody that. You ain't telling nobody that. And the bull crap that you got to deal with them coworkers. You touching freight, 25 stops, 18 stops, and you better be on time. And then when you get there, you better do what them people tell you to do. Put that that merchandise where they need you to put it at. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So it's an even swap, no swindle. So stop making yourself seem like y'all better than OTR. That all we do is just drive. Yeah, and we about making just as much money as y'all. And I'm talking about company drivers. We ain't even gonna get into owner operator. Okay, local drivers, you can't compete with an owner operator. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. Local drivers, you cannot compete with an owner operator over the road. Let's be very clear about that. Because what you make in one week, I make in one load. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. Now y'all may be able to compare yourself to another company driver that's over the road, but if you are owner operator, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. So if you want to compare yourself to me and we finna sit here and talk about dollars, don't compare yourself to me. Let me see what you said. I would say people who do dump trucks locally have it a little bit better. Chris, don't tell them nothing, because they know everything. And that what kills me, it always be the people who don't have no experience. 4 months, you dropping in the comments about what you make and like you better. You ain't been out here long enough to even fully form an opinion about what's going on in trucking. That's why I can tell who be wet behind the ears when they make certain comments. I can tell you ain't been out here long. I can tell you ain't been out here that long. And it don't take a rocket scientist to put it all together. But if you came straight out of school and went local, you have no idea what true trucking is really all about. I can almost promise you this. Because you are the exception, to be honest. You are not the rule. Because most local companies will not even touch you coming fresh out of school. Why? Because you don't have the experience. They're going to tell you need over the road experience, 2 years, because you are a liability to their insurance. You're dealing with close quarter driving techniques. You're going to really need some driving techniques when it comes outside of backing. Because let's talk about that, y'all. Because, I back up all day. You are in a day cab, sir. Backing in a day cab in a sleeper is not the same. We are not the same. But as far as turning wires and stuff like that, if you are in a place like Miami, where you need to know how to maneuver that truck. If you're driving down on South Beach, where there's tons and tons of pedestrians, tons and tons of cars being parked on both sides of the street, you need to be able to maneuver that, and you need to be able to use your common sense. All right, a lot of these places have one ways. It's not it's not a perfect way to I'm just gonna drive and get there. You need to be able to know where you're going. You understand what I'm saying? It takes a little bit more common sense when we're talking about driving locally, right? Not to impede traffic, all these different things, right? That's something totally different. But coming fresh out of school, talking about, I went local, fresh out of school, you are an exception. Please believe you are an exception. Most local companies will not hire students fresh out of school. They just won't, because you don't meet the criteria to be put on their insurance. Let's see. Always get good laugh. A day cab struggle to back in the spot. Exactly. Sometimes you might need 3 lanes to make that turn. Okay, talentless. They don't understand that. Have good night. You telling the truth. Time, day makes a difference. I've been trying, so you not lying. I'm telling y'all. That's why I said, when people come on my lives and they say certain things, they feel like because it happened for them, it's happening for everybody. And that's just not true. That's why when I come on my lives, I try to give y'all experience of not just me, but based on what I see and what I know. So y'all don't get the wrong impression that I'm finna just dive into trucking and it's gonna be a cakewalk. No. And that's what a lot of people do. They get on the lives and they talk about their experience, not failing to tell you guys that they are the exception and not the rule. So they have you thinking, shit, that's how it is. Oh shit. No, that's not. That's not. Um, let's see. Tell it like it is, my sister. Everybody think it's easy. Yep. Everybody do think it's easy. Hello from South Carolina. Hey, Napoleon. NYC, you better. Hello, Scott. We ain't even gonna talk about New York and New Jersey, where those old docks are made for smaller trucks. Where the trailers was what 46 feet and not 53, and they need you to back a 53 in there. Where the heights was different. Oh, we ain't much gonna talk about that. That's why I stopped going to New Jersey. I stopped going up in them. Listen, everything is tight. Low clearances. Oh my God. Listen. We're not even gonna talk about New York up in that area. We're not even gonna talk about it. We're not even gonna talk about it. Good morning, Phoenix. I'm just reading a little bit of y'all comments, but we're gonna talk about this OTR versus local because I'm sick of y'all you local drivers. I love y'all. I do love y'all. I really do. But y'all got to stop comparing yourself to over-the-road drivers. Y'all really have to stop comparing yourself to over-the-road drivers and stop this division thing that y'all better than us. And over-the-road drivers, if you are over-the-road driver and you feel like you saying that you better than a local driver, stop that. Stop that. Because everything has its pros and its cons in life. Everything. There's not a thing on the planet that is perfect. All right, it's all about personal preference. If that's what works for you, then that's what works for you. But you coming on and saying, things, making bullet points as facts, that's where you're going to have a problem with me. That's where you're going to have a problem with me. Or you coming off as better than, you're going to have a problem with me. But if that's your preference, have at it. Have at it. Because your money don't make me. That's why I said I don't really talk about money too much on my lives, even on my platform. Y'all already know, if you've been following me for a while, I really don't talk about money. Why? Because $1,800 may be good for you. And I'm not knocking that. If $1,800, if you came from a job making $7.25, I don't even know what minimum wage is. I'm just gonna say $7.25. Make $7.25 or whatever it was an hour, and now you're making $1,800 a week. That's a big jump. That's a big jump. That's money for you. That's why I don't get into money on my lives. I don't get into money on my platform, because what's money for one person may not be money to another person, and vice versa. It's all about what's gonna take. It's gonna take to move your household. What are your goals? You know what I'm saying? Did you come from money? What's your background? There's so many variables with that. That's why I don't talk about money. I don't talk about money. And I'm not impressed by that. When people drop that down in the comments about how much they make, it's like, what you want me to do with that information? I can't do nothing with that information. Now, if you asking me a question about, is $1,800 locally, let's talk about it. Is $1,800 locally good money? If you're somebody new coming into trucking and you want to have something to kind of gauge, is $1,800 a week locally good money? I'm going to answer your question. It depends. Like I said, if you came from a job making, or let's just say you came from washing cars. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. You came from washing cars and you was making maybe $500 a week, $1,800 a week. Hell yeah, that's good money. That's good money. But once you get into it and you see, you know what I'm saying? And then you see what the work is like. You have to make a decision. Is it worth it? Do you have benefits? You don't have to start looking at the other things that's surrounding the job, because most people just do it for the money, which I think is wrong. You should not take a job strictly based off of money. You should not take a job, especially when it comes to trucking. You're going to set yourself up for failure every time, because they're going to feel like, well, I'm paying you. So what, you broke down out there on the road? We'll get to you when we get to you. No, we're paying you good money. So no, we don't have to take care of our equipment. You understand what I'm saying? It's just different things that you have. We're paying you good money. So no, we don't have to give you benefits. You know what I'm saying? And when you're young, you don't really think about that. But the older you get, you start to realize, I need a 401k. No, I need some benefits. I need to get my teeth fixed. I need to get my eyes checked. Okay, these things become priority. These things become priority, and sometimes you just have to weigh it out. Okay, this money's pretty good. I can live off of this. I'm making more than I was, but at least I got some benefits. How do I feel about regional? Um, I don't really have no thoughts about regional. I think regional is cool. To be honest with you, it is basically what it is. Like, it's the middle lane or the middle division when it comes to trucking, right? Because they get to see the best of both worlds. So I mean, and you really can't beat that. At the end of the day, with regional, regional is probably where most drivers would want to be. Because me personally, even though I'm an owner operator, I consider myself a regional driver because that's giving me the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? I'm over the road. I'm still kind of close to home, and anytime I decide, you know what, I'm going home tomorrow, I can do that, and I want to be in my bed tomorrow. I can do that. You understand what I'm saying? So I think regional is probably the best option. To be honest with you, and that's just me, right? And it's nothing better than, let's talk about it. I'm glad you said that. It's nothing better than somebody who's regional in a day cab and the company puts them up in a hotel. That's like the bee's knees, if you ask me. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't sleeping in no truck stop. You sleeping in the actual bed. You know what I'm saying? Shit. And then by the weekend, you're going to be home to see your wife and your kids, or your husband and your kids. Yeah. That's my thoughts on regional. No, so most truck drivers, they gain that mentality. Like, once they get to a certain status of pay, they can't go back, and they refuse to go back, right? Because they start to understand that ain't no money. That ain't no money. So again, somebody going into local, they have to grow to understand that ain't no money, and then all the headaches that they may have to deal with. Is it really worth it? We have to think about that. Is it really worth it? Putting your body through all of these, I mean, let's think about it long term. You putting your body through a lot of tremendous strain. Your knees, your back, your shoulders, your neck, your spine, all these things that you putting yourself under a tremendous amount of stress. And that is a con, and that's not just local, but over the road. Let me tell you what I think a con is. One of the cons for over the road. I don't know if y'all realize it, but when y'all are driving up and down these roads, and your truck is vibrating, do you realize that your organs are being moved around or shaking, vibrating with the truck? That's why I always stress on my lives, you guys, you women, you guys need to get checkups. You need to have health insurance. You need to get checkups. That road is beating your body up slowly but surely. And of course, you don't realize it. But that vibration that we feel, those bumps and bruises, it's like, football players do it. Football players go through it. It may not be as hard. We're not taking as hard of a hit. But 8 to 10 hours of something vibrating, moving your organs, gently around is not good. I don't know if y'all know this or not. So that is one of the biggest cons of when it comes to OTR. All right, not having access to a better healthier lifestyle. That is one of the biggest cons of OTR. You're right. 20 years as a truck driver. Over a period of time, exactly. So that's one of the biggest cons, right? And for folks to say, well, you over the road, you don't get to see your family every night, this and that. You have people that's in their house with their kids and not see their kids. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Child sitting right next to them. You ain't reading them no stories. You ain't taking them nowhere. You arguing with their daddy, you arguing with their mama. What they need you home for? You won't take them fishing. You ain't give them no life experiences. You just there. You just there. So don't listen. Stop hollering about, oh, I'm home every night. You ain't been to no PTA meetings. You ain't been to no kids plays. You ain't been to none of the games. You just there. Every time I see daddy, he sleep. I can identify the back of his neck, the back of his head in the bed. I can identify that real quick. Real quick, because you so tired and beat down. At least I'm going to give over the road the benefit of the doubt, because when we over the road, shit, we FaceTiming our kids. Because we need some socialization, so let's FaceTime. Let me at least FaceTime maturing. Yeah, and we getting sleep. We getting sleep every night. We got to have that 10 hours. Y'all know y'all got to have 10 hours too, but it don't feel like it when you done did a 14-hour day. And truly, we say it's 10 hours, but ain't nobody actually sleeping for 10 hours. Stop it. None of us. Yep, you home, but you ain't home. The local drivers ain't telling you that. They ain't telling you that. They ain't telling you that. They 14 hours tired. That dick ain't get hard. He tired. He tired, mama. He tired. You love my content. Thank you. I agree on the 14-hour day. Let me see, that went by too fast. At home nights, work harder sometimes. Exactly. Tell the truth. Tell the truth when y'all talk about local. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. The only thing y'all escape is DOT. Y'all ain't. That's probably about the only thing y'all escape. DOT. That I can think of offhand right now. And maybe some other things. Don't hold me to it. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all escape that. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? And the life risk ain't as high as it is for the over the road. Like, I think our lives are more at risk than it is for local drivers. And that's just how I feel. Let's see. Y'all laughing. I'm dead ass serious. I'm serious. And them kids say you was on the phone and provided, but you still wasn't there. That may be true. But guess what? Like I said, earthquake. I'm saying earthquake. The real quake. Just because you getting home at the crib every day don't mean you there actually taking care of your kids. That you actually there. You providing maybe financially, but that's about it. That's about it. You ain't tucking them in their beds. You ain't taking them to school. You know what I'm saying? Because most local drivers, they got to get up too early to take their kids to school. They may be able to pick them up, maybe. If that. Because if you're working 14-hour days, school is over and you still at work. Because you got 25 stops. Let's not play them games. So, yeah, we going to stop that. But over the road, those are the cons. I think those are the cons of, us. Our lives are more at stake. You know what I'm saying? We got to deal with over the DOT. We got to deal with DOT. That's a major con. We really and truly got to make sure our equipment is up to par. We can't really afford to play around out on the road. You understand what I'm saying? We really can't afford that. The health, we don't have, like I said earlier, we don't have access to healthier food unless we take food on the road with us, which is something that I do. But some drivers, I ain't gonna say most, some drivers, they don't take food. You see them clearly, somebody eating out of the truck stops, because they ain't just putting Arby's and Wendy's and all them. They ain't just putting them there for no reason. They put them there because truck drivers eat out of them. Okay. Another con is we have to fight to figure out where we gonna sleep every night. I ain't gonna say fight, because if you plan accordingly, then that's different. But shit, you get to the truck stop at the wrong time and it's full. Now you got to find somewhere to park. That's a con. You understand what I'm saying? That's a big con. Another con is if you own a truck or if you're a company driver and you decide to do your home time, you got to find somewhere to park the truck. That's a con. That's the con. But these things are minute. You understand what I'm saying? I will say this with the local drivers. Let me say this: if you are a local driver, and I hate to say this, if you know how to maneuver, right? Because sometimes, most times, it's hourly. You know how to play with their clock, and that's all I'm gonna say. If you know how to play with their clock, and I ain't talking about the clock on your. I ain't talking about the ELD. I'm talking about the company time clock. You can eat. You can eat if you know what to do. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Over the road don't have that luxury. Y'all laughing. I'm serious. Over the road don't have that luxury. And the reason why I know is because that pay clock, yes, you can play with that. And the reason why I know is because when I worked for FFE was line haul drivers, which I was a line haul driver. I was a line haul driver Sunday through Wednesday. And wherever terminal I landed at, I ran locally. That's why I say I know what I'm talking about. So please don't come on I got some experience. So Wednesday through Friday, I would run locally. Sometimes regionally, I would go to the next state. And those runs paid by the hour. Those loads paid by the hour. And per stop. I don't know if local drivers like FedEx and stuff like that, I don't know if they pay like that. But I know FFE paid like that. So if I had 6 stops, I was getting paid $35 per stop plus per hour. And I knew how to play with them people clock. Let's just say that. Yeah. Let's just say that. But we ain't going to get too much in that because that's not, listen. My job is not to, get nobody in trouble. I don't want nobody to say, well, Pam Moolah. I say, I'm just telling you. I was the wife of an over-the-road driver for 25 years, now divorced. I was a single parent. Yeah, that's going but you know what? You said Deborah, or it may be Deborah. I'm not sure because I got a niece. Her name is Deborah. That's gonna happen with any man, and I don't want you to say it's just truck drivers, but any man who is a person who wants to provide for his family, most men, they dive into their work. From my experience, most men, that is their way of proving their love. They want to be able to provide for their family. They emotionally, that is how they perceive to take care of their family. So they're going to work around the clock. He ain't necessarily got to be no truck driver. You see police officers do it. You see doctors do it. You see construction workers do it. They just want to be able to provide. They don't want to see their family in no hole. They want to have that extra cushion. They thinking about it, nest egg. And sometimes us women, we have to learn how to, if you want to have your hand out, you need to let that man go to work. You understand what I'm saying? I understand that he may not be there for the kids or whatever, but you have to you gonna have to show him how to find a balance. That's with any man. You gonna have to show that man how to have a balance. Now, there is also a difference between a company driver and an owner operator. Now, if he was a company driver, he had to work them people's schedule. And if you married him as a truck driver, I hate to say it, that's what you signed up for. That's what you signed up for. Now, if he became a truck driver after the fact, then that's a different conversation. But if you met him as a truck driver and he's a company driver and his job is to be 21 days out, 5 days home, or whatever it is, he can't control that because the bills ain't gonna stop. The bills, the rent man still coming to knock at the door, and that's like I said, that's with any job. Most men, and I hate to use the term real men, but most real men, hey Rod, most real men, they want to work. They going to work. Ain't nothing you can really do about that. And I'm sorry. I got a baby doll face. Let's see. Over the road driver doesn't break up a happy home. Coming home without calling first does. You know what? Get off my live. You was wrong for that. You dead wrong for that. It plays a part in your family life also. It does. It does. But so does a lot of other things. So does a lot of other things. The best thing a truck driver can do is when he gets home, I understand that you're tired, but it's called sacrifice. When you see your kids, take them on trips. Give them things that's memorable enough to tie them over to when you go on the road and you come back home again. That's what you're going to have to do. Your kids ain't signed up for that. They ain't asked to be here. So, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to make some sacrifices. And to be honest with you, if you're over the road driver, you should be getting enough rest on the road. It ain't no real reason. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Ladies, if you dating an over the road truck driver and he come home by he tired, yeah, mentally he may be beat up or whatever, but I'm just going to give you a tip. If you know you getting ready to go home in 3 days or whatever, them 2 nights before you get to the crib, you need to be getting your rest. Take advantage of that. Get them 10 hours. Don't be all on the phone, playing no games, watching TV or whatever it is that you may be doing. Get you some rest. Start to mentally prepare yourself to go home, because you got to be there in the moment with your kids and your wife. Or you got to be in the moment with your husband and your kids. Whatever it is. Start preparing yourself mentally. I don't think drivers do that. Because we do get mentally messed up out here over the road. We get mentally messed up. Right? And sometimes you just need to really unwind. I get it. But if you've been on the road long enough, you should be able to unwind in your goddamn truck. Unwind in your truck, because you know them kids going to need you when you get to the crib. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing is, if you done been over the road working, and we billing, it should be no reason why we can't take these kids to the carnival. It shouldn't be no reason why we can't take these kids to Disney World, because you working, ain't it? That's what you doing, ain't it? To take care of your family, right? So I don't let them make no excuses on me. Oh, nah, nigga. Because you ain't going to be over the road and come home broke, too. Them two things don't go together. It would never play out with me. Because if I'm letting you work and do what you need to do, and I ain't bugging you and harassing you, when you come home, baby, the kids, Junior needs some new shoes. He done bust up out of the last ones. I don't want to hear no. I'm sorry. That's just me. Because then I'm trying to figure out what you're doing with your money. What's really going on. And let's just call a spade a spade. A lot of them over the road drivers, they be having gambling habits. They be all in them casinos. This nigga took out a whole cash advance on his last 3 paychecks. And the casino got y'all rent money. It ain't just about no lot lizards. Y'all stop that. Okay. It's a lot of other habits that drivers be developing out here on that road. I don't know if y'all know that or not. Like I said, let's stop putting truck drivers in one basket. Because you ain't got to be a truck driver to have them habits. So I hate when I hear, but I was dating a truck driver and it ain't work out. Girl, let me tell you. You can get you a dog-ass police officer, too. You can get you a dog-ass lawyer. You can get you a dog-ass doctor. Dog-ass teacher. It ain't about what he do. It's about who he is. Let's keep that in mind, please. And to be honest with you, it's all about who you are, too. But see, we supposed to be talking about over the road versus local. Because y'all don't want me to tell y'all a new whole asshole about the shit y'all be doing to these men. Okay, that's every profession. It's a people thing, not a job. Absolutely. And I always say that. It ain't no truck driver thing. It's a people thing. Good morning. And you sure don't have to go to a truck stop to get her. You sure don't. So yeah. Listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I just really want to talk about the local versus the over the road. Because we gotta stop the division. I understand sometimes it be just a joke And I'm cool with the jokes. You know what I'm saying? I really am. But to think that you are better than when somebody who may be over the road as a personal, it's preference. It's just what they chose to do. They're more comfortable over the road. They enjoy the money that they make over the road. That's just what works for them. That's just what works for them, and vice versa. If you want to be local, that's just what works for you.